Good morning, everyone. Happy January 1st. My goodness, we made it 2025. Welcome to 2025. You made it. You made it here. You made it through 2020 to 2024, and then you made it through that really deep 2024 year. Holy smokes, you deserve an award for making it, for digging deep, for being resilient, for finding layers that you couldn't have even imagined you needed to find within self, and then dealing with them and moving through them and growing and becoming who you are in this moment. My gosh. So I hope that no matter how you celebrated last night, whether you're feeling vibrant and amazing or needing to take a little time for yourself, regardless, I hope you feel deep in your heart so proud of yourself and where you are today. I really do. So let's dive into the message. Good morning, everyone. Jeanette Biro. I'm a medium and a channeler. And today we're going to dive into messages from Spirit. I'm not going to use cards. I'm just going to dive in how I normally do through clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. Basically, I see, hear, and feel Spirit and see what they have to share. So I'm just going to tune in for one moment and then let you know what I see. Okay, at first I thought this was coming from just the three guides of the light, but then there's other spirit guides of mine in my council that came forward. So this is really like a spirit collective message. And first of all, they're all standing back and they're like, congratulations to all of you for how far you've come. So kind of like I said in the beginning, which is really neat. So there is that. And, oh, hold on one sec. This is really interesting. They're showing me, they're like, as you move forward now in your journey, you're going to start to see how different aspects of your creation are being layered on top of the other, like one on top of the other. You're going to experience this sort of layering of your reality. And what's really interesting is, and again, I'm going to try and explain this. They're saying within this layering of reality, which will also bring in dream state. Okay, so this is where a dream state for many of you will become a real state also. And it doesn't mean your dreams will be completely clear, but you'll be able to pick out like themes, situations and such in your dream state that you know pertain to your waking reality or your soul reality. And they're saying with these layers, you're going to be able to remove certain layers and put in different layers, kind of like making a sandwich, they're showing me, right? Like, you can put different things in there. If you put pickles in there and then you change your mind, you can take the pickles out, right? You can take that layer out. They're saying your co-creation now is not simply going to be in a linear fashion where, you know how when we create something, we have to think about it, then we have to plan for it, then we have to execute it, and then it becomes a thing. It's a linear progression. They're saying our co-creations now are going to be stacked. And it's a very new way of seeing, they're saying the concept of reality, but also of seeing how we can create in multiple directions, which I think this is fascinating. I haven't heard of this before until right now, so that's why I'm a little choppier in bringing it through, because I have so many questions. And so they're saying, because I was just asking them, how do we know which level we're talking about? Like, how do we see the full sandwich, or how do we recognize the full sandwich? And they're saying it's all based on how you feel inside. It's always going to be a resonance inside. So, your base layer, let's just stick with the sandwich here. The bread would be like your foundation, your core aspect of who you are. And then each layer, whatever kind of sandwich you make, each layer is another aspect of you in its expression. So maybe there's some creative layers like the frilly lettuce. Maybe there's some salty layers like a pickle. You know what I mean, okay? So all the different layers of self, each one has a feeling. And so when you hit a layer in your life where the feeling is off, you get to pause at that feeling, take out that aspect, and then replace it with something that feels better. So for example, let's just say one of those layers is you take your neighbor's dog for a walk because they're old and they can't do it. However, although that's a nice thing, it actually stresses you out because maybe you're afraid of dogs, and to take the dog to the dog park actually creates so much body stress for you. Every time you do it, it actually takes away from your being. So instead of forcing to keep that layer of something you don't like, you can take out that layer and you can say to your neighbor, listen, I'm not able to walk your dog anymore, but I did find this dog walking service, and I'll cover the costs, or here's a really cheap version, or whatever, right? Like there's always an option. And so you can take that layer out and put back in something that fits better for you as you create that sandwich, as you stack that. And so it's noticing how each thing in your life feels for you. Does it feel right? And you'll notice that in your body. Your body will be the communicator of it. Your body did everything it could to come online in 2024, and now in 2025, it's going to show you how it works. So you listen to the energetics in your body, and that's how you get to like shift out these different layers of your reality versus only creating in a linear way. And Spirit is saying when you realize you create in a stacked way, you actually will manifest what it is you want much faster and with more ease and grace. It's actually easier and clearer, faster as well, than having to take one singular creation in a linear direction, stack it up. So the very essence of that is tune into your body about the things that you do. How does it feel? Does the body like it? Do you get a good feeling from it? Or does it take from you? Does it drain from you? Does it cause you stress and strife? If it does, it's not in alignment with you, and you can change it. And Spirit is like, if you're willing to be creative, you'll be amazed at how you can recreate something. And they're also saying, they're like, let anxiety be your cue. If there's something in your life that feels very, how do I explain this? If there's something in your life that feels very anxiety-based, it is asking you to recreate it. And one of the most interesting things is, one of the best ways to turn off anxiety triggers is to do something creative. It turns the left brain off. Of the left brain's trying to figure out something because it wants to be linear and logical. The right brain, in its creative aspect, if it is allowed freedom, can shut off that signal. So with Spirit saying, when the anxiety comes up, be creative in how you can recreate that scenario or shift it. If you get creative about it, you'll decrease the anxiety, but you'll also fix that layer, which is really cool. So I think this is a fantastic message. Definitely not what I expected at all. I hope the sandwich analogy makes sense. And really notice how in your life this year, your stacked reality becomes a moving piece in your world that you have access to every single layer to shift and change. I think that's fantastic. I absolutely love it. All right, I will leave that with all of you for now. Thank you so much as always for joining me. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2025. May you feel worthy and, alive and beautiful enough to embrace it, take it, and run with it, and co-create everything you would wish this year. So I'll leave that with you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow.